I've got a Mack Md7 here and a Peterbilt 536. Is there any incentives to go with one or the other? And I'll tell you right now, you can't even hardly tell the difference between them two aluminum wheels. They got the built-in tow hooks here. That's a really nice feature for the trash haulers. We're gonna jump inside, show you guys the interior on this truck. Nice steps getting in and out of the truck. Now, Mack does have something new coming out, so stay tuned, keep watching, and you'll see it. These trucks are running about $10,000 to $12,000 more right now in price. Customers say, well, how can I spend more for a truck that basically does the same work? Here's what I'll tell you. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm really excited to be here today. We're going to talk about something a little different today. I really want feedback from our audience on this subject. So I've got a Mack Md7 here and a Peterbilt 536. Now customers call in all the time and ask us, what is the difference between these two trucks? Because there's a price difference. How can one be more expensive than the other? I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the difference in these two trucks. But ultimately, I want you, the customer, to decide which is the best truck for you. And there's going to be a couple things that we're going to point out that really come down to why which one of these trucks is the best for you. So to put it in real simple terms, think about Ford, Chevy, Dodge. Those three trucks are about grouped all the same in my book. You've got guys that like one above the other, but they can't really say it's because of these features that make it so much better. And that's really what it comes down to these trucks here. What do you, as the owner of the company or the driver, prefer? Everybody has their likes and dislikes about certain things. I'm not going to talk negative about either truck because I can't. We sell all the different makes and models here, and both of these dealers that we buy these chassis from are top-notch. They're the best. And so I want to brag up their product, but then I want you to decide which is the best for you. So let's go to the Mack Md7. What is Mack known for? When you think about a Mack truck, what comes to your mind? So Mack has been in the truck world for many years. Think back to the old R model Mack with the single air cleaner on the right-hand side and the offset cab. There was no better workhorse than an old R model Mack. I remember as a little boy just standing in awe of these old Mack dump trucks that would come to our farm. Well, they've come a long ways since then. And honestly, Mack has only been in the medium duty for a few years. The MD model has only been around just the last couple years. So this is kind of a new market for them. I think they have done a very good job of taking a fair share of that market because of what the truck they built. So Mack is known for its kind of rugged workhorse feature. When you think about a Mack, they're just a workhorse, a real good solid workhorse. And you always know a Mack by the Bulldog right here on the hood. I think that's a really neat feature. Now, here's a fun fact. Look at the Bulldog on those Mack trucks. When you see a Mack with a gold Bulldog, that means everything on that truck is made by Mack. Engine, transmission, rear ends, everything. So even if the Mack doesn't have the gold Bulldog symbol on it, that means they've just outsourced the engine, transmission from other places. There's a lot of guys that just love the Cummins engine versus the Mack engine, or the Allison versus the Mack transmission. So that is a really smart move by Mack to have taken those components and put them in this truck, because a lot of people would prefer that engine because they're so familiar with it, and there's a lot of dealers that have that. All right, we're gonna open this hood and show you what's underneath there. So we order all our Mack Md7s with the Cummins engine, 300 horse. Paired to the Allison 3000 series transmission, gives you live PTO. It's the very heavy, robust transmission that'll hold up in the landfills, because we build hooklift trucks here, hauling your garbage containers. Excellent for that. So very similar to a lot of the trucks in the market. You know, it's right there. I can't really say that there's anything better about the way this truck is set up than a Peterbilt. Easy to work on, easy access. What I am going to tell you though is they basically have the same drivetrain. This has got the Cummins 6.7 liter engine in it. That's going to have the Paccar PX7 300 horse, both 300 horse. I was always under the impression that those engines were identical except for the color of the paint. I would like to hear from you what the difference is between these two engines. Is there any difference? Are they the exact same thing? You tell me and you tell our audience. I'd like to hear from you guys. So fill us in what you think the difference is between these two engines on these two different trucks here. We're gonna jump inside and show you guys the interior on this truck. We are in the Mack. Nice steps getting in and out of the truck. But just take a look at the interior here. You know, just a very, what I'd call a basic cab. Everything's laid out nicely. Probably, I told you guys, I'm not gonna say anything negative about it, but the biggest complaint I've heard about these trucks is the cab. Cab is a little bit too small. Now, Mack does have something new coming out. I can't tell you about it though, but just wait. Just wait. The new models, they got something different coming out. So stay tuned, keep watching, and you'll see it. But again, nice bench seat, center console. Get your controls right here for the transmission. It's laid out. Visibility is good. I've driven these trucks. They ride very nice. Power windows, power locks, power mirrors, heated mirrors, Bluetooth radio. Nice interior. Let's go look at the Peterbilt. All right, we're gonna talk about the 536 Peterbilt here for a minute. So what's Peterbilt known for? Definitely, Peterbilt has always been known as probably top of the line truck. They have been around for a long time. Peterbilt has been making trucks for many, many years. Peterbilt is known for some nicer features. They are known for a nicer cab, and they put a lot of thought and energy into the design of the truck because they've been doing it so many years. These trucks are running about $10,000 to $12,000 more right now in price. And sometimes our customers say, well, how can I spend more for a truck that basically does the same work, has the same drivetrain, has the Allison transmission? Here's what I'll tell you. Think about the old 379 Peterbilt. Probably one of the best Peterbilt trucks that Peterbilt has ever made. Back, I'm talking like the 01, 02, up to 05. What did they pay for that semi-tractor back in those years? Look what that truck is still worth today. That truck has held its resale value like no other truck on the market has. And that's a little bit what you're gonna find with this truck. You're gonna pay more for it today, but when you go to sell it, trade it in, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, it is gonna hold its resale value probably higher than any other truck out there. And that's just because that's always how it's been. You know, you can look at it as like it's a good investment today because I will get my money back when I go to trade it in. Peterbilt makes a really nice truck. I like how the layout of their cabin hood is. Nice sloped hood. It's got a very sleek front end. The layout of the fuel tank, the steps going into the cab, their grab handle. I like their door handle, this style here. Very easy access. Sits a little bit lower to the ground. Definitely has a nice cab. When you get in one of these, you can just really feel like it's a truck that you could ride in all day. That's another thing that Peterbilt's known for. They build their trucks with the long haul in mind. Now you trash haulers, you're not running over the road, but they do build their trucks with that in mind. So you got to think about that. You want comfort. Their dash is laid out very nice, but there's not a lot of additional features that they would have that the Mack doesn't have. So overall, a nice cab, good visibility, nice mirrors. But yeah, feels good to sit in a Peterbilt. So we're gonna hop back out and I'm gonna talk about a few more things that are different between these two trucks. You know, even it comes down to the wheels. This has Alcoa, this has Accuride. You can't even hardly tell the difference between them two aluminum wheels. They're not made by Peterbilt or Mack. It's another company that makes them. Good quality wheel on both of them. Same for the bumpers, nice chrome bumpers. I will say, Peterbilt, they got the built-in tow hooks here. That's a really nice feature for the trash haulers because you guys are gonna get stuck. You're gonna need to be pulled out. Mack has just the old traditional place here in the front where you gotta go find your tow hooks. They're usually buried underneath all your tools in the toolbox and you gotta stick them in, and you know, it takes a little bit more time. So I do like that. I think that's a nice finished touch because you're gonna need it. Mack versus Peterbilt. Did that help you make your mind up which is the better one? I don't know that I really pointed out one way or another which is the best. It really comes down to you. What you like, what your preferences are, and what you're looking for. If you're looking for class, you're probably going to get it with the Peterbilt. If you're looking for just a good, strong workhorse, you're going to get it with the Mack. Here is probably the most important thing for you, the customer, to think about. Who is your closest dealer? Who is the best dealer beside you? You know, if you have a Mack dealer that's 5 minutes from your shop, that's great, but does he offer the best service? These trucks are going to need service. There's going to be probably some warranty issues, and having a good dealer close to you that offers top-notch service is probably going to be the most important thing for you to think about, because your job is to use these trucks to make money. Downtime is very expensive, and if you have to drive an hour to a dealership and then an hour back to pick it up, that could become a problem. But if you have a dealership that's 5 minutes from your house that does not offer good service, is not good to the customer, and you have to continually go back to get the same problem fixed, that's not a good option either for you. So I really want you to think about that. Who is the dealer that's closest to you, and what dealer offers the best service? And that's going to be a big deciding factor in which one of these trucks to go with. I'll tell you, we sell a ton of both of these trucks. It all comes down to what you want. You're going to look good in both of these trucks. Both of these trucks are going to make you money. You got to decide. I'd like to hear from you today. What makes you think one is better than the other? I'd like to hear stories from you guys on you know, the ride, the feel, the turning radius. You're the guys that really know. So let's hear it from the people that are running these trucks. Stay safe out there.